By God, he hates the blacks. Oh.
Any racism, or did you ever feel like you had?
He hates the blacks.
I experienced it in WWE. You know, I experienced it with certain top officials who I don't really want to go and say any names because I feel...
Say names.
Well, you know, I'm just going to say it like this, you know. You know, I didn't wear a 10-gallon hat or anything, but my point was, you know, when a person...
Go Sooners!
Yeah, but when a person comes up to you and tells you that they don't like you because of the color of your skin, and you're sitting up there going, wow.
You look so fine. I want to break your heart and give you mine. 'Cause you're taking me over.
Racism.
It's so insane. You got me fucking tethered and chained. I hear your name. And I'm falling over. I'm not like all the other girls. I can't take it like the other girls. I won't stare it like the other girls. They used to know. You look so fine.
Uh-oh. Racism. Racism.
Up and down just to find out that I'm bleeding for you. I'm not like all the other girls. I can't take it like the other girls. I won't stare it like the other girls. They used to know. You look so fine.
Racism. Welcome to worldwide racism.
A black man should never say anything because of the fact that he's black and you're in a white man's business.
But let me ask you this. Hold on. Do you think from the first day that we ever got together that we ever experienced or you ever experienced racism?
No, I didn't experience it when we were together because of the fact that when we got together, we were in ECW. And in ECW, I did not experience it. I experienced it in WWE. You know, I experienced it with certain top officials who I don't really want to go and say any names because I feel...
Say names.
Well, you know, I'm just going to say it like this, you know. You know, I didn't wear a 10-gallon hat or anything, but my point was, you know, when a person comes up to you...
What's up, everybody? Quick impromptu little broadcast here for you. I was gonna make a video and just put up a video on it, but like, you know what I mean? Like, I just figured like, let's just do a quick live video. We're live for a few minutes here with you to talk about this, play the clips, go over a couple of things. Just wanted to get into it. Gonna get everything up and running. I hope you guys are in the chat right now. You can click the like button. Some people believe this was some kind of a sabotage by WWE on AEW since, you know, Jim Ross jumped ship to AEW. That some people believe that this is like a sabotage of Jim Ross or something like that, which it could be, but I don't know, man. It's weird because you got, guys like over in AEW saying guys in WWE are racist people that are there now. You got WWE people saying that there's people in AEW that they're racist people. I mean, just fucking crazy. Both sides calling each other racist. It's pretty wild, overall. So that so far has been the big issue. Is just like, what the fuck are we talking about? But what's with the whole like afraid to say Jim Ross, but like not afraid? I mean, maybe he's like afraid of a lawsuit or something, I guess. I don't know. Like, I mean, you're afraid to say that it's Jim Ross, but you say it's Jim Ross? Like, I mean, I found it very interesting, that it was like, I'm not going to say who it was, and then it was like, but, I'll basically say it, ha, 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 like, and so then Maven had to be like, oh, like, Sooners, like, okay, well, now we know we're talking about JR, and then Devon goes, I don't have, like, a 10-pound pail hat or whatever. It was like, it's like, why are we not saying his name, or why aren't we bringing that up now? Why do we tiptoe around it to not tiptoe around it? That's what I don't understand. Why didn't anybody step in and say, everybody kind of knows who we're talking about now? I mean, like, did he always remain that way, or did things change, or, was this just a fleeting moment of his ism, but like he really wasn't fully like that? Like, I mean, there's going to be a lot of people that question this, but they didn't do that. They cowardly went around it, like, which is weird to me. Like, you already brought it up. That's why Bully Ray is the only one that was like, oh my God, like, I can't believe, like, I didn't think anybody was going to say it, but not only, they basically said it, like, and I'm on this podcast and I can't go anywhere. Like, I mean, this is crazy.
Racism.
No, I didn't experience it when we were together because of the fact that when we got together,
But this could have been a planned gaslight thing to do, too, by the way. Like, where Bully Ray was like, fuck it, dude, let's do it. And here's how we do it. I ask you the question, then you say, and then just fuck it. Then it gets out. But, like, so you want to bury this guy right before he dies, basically? Like, Jim Ross is going to die soon, and, this is what we're doing? So, like, I mean, there's got to be a reason then, right? There's got to be a reason, right? Like, I mean, like, I'm assuming that Jim Ross, I mean, he must have been a bad person. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, because why would you... I mean, didn't Jim Ross have a hand in getting the Dudleys, or am I wrong? Am I crazy? Am I like wrong? I thought Jim Ross was one of the guys that was like, we got to get the Dudleys. Or maybe he didn't. Maybe he hated the Dudleys. I don't know, but I don't know why, but I thought that he was like one of the guys that was like, well, let's get the Dudleys. We got to get these Dudley boys. Like, I thought he was one of the scouts that brought them in. But I'm not saying it's not true at all. I'm just saying, like, what? This is so weird, like, to bring up like this and in a passive, sort of a passive-aggressive pussy thing. It's just weird. I mean, like, and if Jim Ross really was like this, I mean, that's fucking crazy. Like, was Jim Ross really a racist? I mean, it's just hard to believe it. That he is, but it's believable, but it's like, it's just like, was everybody a bad person? Once they die, we know they're all bad? I mean, what are we doing?
New subscriber.
you fucking mark.
We Talk Everything is subscribed. That's right. We even talk about transitioning sisters and hookers and everybody. It's crazy. Poo Nanny. It's all on the table. Thanks for subbing to the channel. It's pretty crazy. Here comes Gerald Armstrong.
$9 for a fuck. Someone donated 9. I'm getting hard. I got
Let's
9
go.
inches inside of your wife. $9. I'm shooting my semen to the ceiling. I'm coming and my balls have turned blue. $9. Suck my dick.
Hulk Hogan has some competition as the GOAT of WWE racism.
Well, I guess so. I don't know, man. The weird thing is Hulk Hogan was only a little racist on his own at his home. It seems like in the wrestling companies, Hogan was never really racist at all. It seemed like in the wrestling companies, Hogan would push a black guy. But like at home, I guess he throws around the N-word. So, I mean, that's the thing is, like, that's what's weird is, at least Hogan didn't seem to be racist in the wrestling companies. So it's like, it's weird. So I don't know about that statement, but I get it. I know the NBA's rigged, though. You can take like 900 steps. If you're an NBA All-Star, you can just take 1,000,000 steps. It's all good. Take 1 billion steps. There's no more traveling. Somebody scored a touchdown on the Ravens. Who was it? Oh, it was Kolar. Oh, my God. Fuck my life, dude. Fuck my life. Kolar scores a touchdown. Well, there goes the $2 that I bet. There goes the $2 I bet. I needed fucking either Henry, Likely, or whatever the quarterback's name is. 2 touchdowns from any of those 3 guys. 2 touchdowns from any of those guys. Jackson, Likely, or Henry. And 2 touchdowns from any one of them. And $2 would have became $100. Instead, we got fucking Kolar catching the ball. The fuck is going on in this game tonight? Dude, fuck my life, dude. Anyway, so let's go back to the clip. Again, Bully Ray's face, really says it all here.
You know, I look at it like this also, and this is coming from me. But being African American in this business still,
There you go.
especially in the very beginning of 1991, and even though we got started in 96, I was still petrified of racism.
Yeah.
Somebody not saying, okay, we can't allow him to say this because, why should a black man say this in this type of business, or, vice versa, because I found that to be very, very a point of view in so many people that, we were coming up in, when I was coming up in the business, that their philosophy was still stuck in the 50s and 60s. A black man should never say anything because of the fact that he's black and you're in a white man's business.
But let me ask you this. Hold on. Do you think from the first day that we ever got together that we ever experienced, or you ever experienced?
There's no doubt that this see, to me, like, I feel like there's no doubt that this happened because, I mean, Maven getting on board with it is whatever. Maven doesn't really know, but he's just going along with it. But Bully Ray, because Bully Ray, he's the reason why, like, this seems so believable. You know what I mean? Not to disregard Devon or what anybody would say, like a black guy's perspective. I'm just saying it makes it so much more believable because his literal tag team partner. And I don't think Bully Ray is some woke snowflake guy either. So the fact that Bully's sitting right there like, fuck, I was there for a couple of those times. And also Bully Ray is willing to be like, oh shit, we're saying it, It's not like Bully Ray is like, well, like we should be careful. Like it's not, we don't, He's not like that. He's like, yep, I've always known this, but like we don't say anything. But hey, he's saying it now. Oh, shit. So that, I mean, this is very believable because of this. So anybody out there that would be like, well, Devon's making it up or whatever. Well, the problem is that Bully Ray is like 100% like, yeah, I was there for that. Like, I was there. Like, he's not like white knighting. He's like, I was there. I saw that too. It's not like Devon is like making up some like crybaby BLM woke thing. He's like, yo, this is what happened. And Bully Ray is like, yeah, I was there. So like, that's the problem. Like, that's fucking crazy because this is, and I'm sure that Jim Ross, in defense, Jim Ross's defense probably, Jim Ross probably looked at people's stereotypes and then called them out. And so if I could possibly defend some racism here, which God knows I like to do that sometimes, let me play devil's advocate and say that Jim Ross probably called out everybody's stereotypes, right? Like if you came in the room and you were too short, I'm sure Jim Ross said things like, sorry, pal, you're just too damn short. Like, look at this. Like, no one's ever going to buy that shit, and Vince is never going to go for it. You're a fucking short guy, and you're always going to be short, and, you got nothing else that sticks out. You're going to be a guy who opens up a house show or something. Like Jim Ross would say that, right? And if you were overweight, Jim Ross would say you're fucking overweight, fat fuck, like, you know. And if you were somebody who, whatever your stereotype is, you know, Jim Ross would say like, hey, listen, man, you're a fucking Hispanic guy trying to do this. That's never gonna fucking work. Like Jim Ross was very like call out and pick apart your shit based on stereotypes, what Vince liked and what the business was about. So I definitely could see Jim Ross repeating like the sort of stereotypical racism of like, hey man, listen, you're one half of a tag team and you're a black guy. Like, you don't have a lot of lines. You know, people don't buy, people don't buy into a lot of that stuff. You know, you just got to be part of this tag team. This is what it is. You look like a generic black guy. It's about it. So that's what you are. Just like, shut up. I could see Jim Ross saying that sort of stuff. It's kind of bullshit. I don't agree with it. But what I'm trying to say in sort of not defending racism by Jim Ross, if this is what happened, I'm just saying, even though it's wrong, it's gross, and it's demoralizing in many ways. If you're a black wrestler, it's demoralizing, it's dehumanizing, right? But in the defense of Jim Ross, or just not the defense of it, but it's not defense of Jim Ross. It's more of like in comfort to Devon, right? In comfort to Devon Dudley. Hey, man, anybody that came in with big red hair, or they had black skin, white skin, they were too fat, they were skinny, they were too short, whatever it is, the guy was going to pick apart your negatives and tell you your limitations before you even started. Because that's what he did. He picked apart people's shit and their limitations in a, maybe dehumanizing and non-empathetic way, and maybe a racist way. In this case, a racist way, right? And this is not defending what Jim Ross did. I'm just saying, I don't think only black people were Jim Ross's targets. I think Jim Ross was targeting anything and anybody, and if it was a negative to Jim Ross. And the problem with this is the negative here is being black. You know what I mean? In his opinion, he thought being black means, oh, you don't really have any speaking parts, and, you're not going to get over anyway. And this is what, people like a white guy with long hair and that sort of thing. Black guy stuff barely sells. It never sells. That's what I feel like I'm getting from this, of what JR thought or whatever. I don't know. But Bully Ray, jumping in to be like, yeah, that was fucked up. It tells you that it happened. That's what's crazy.
Experienced racism.
No, I didn't experience it when we were together, because of the fact that when we got together, we were in ECW. And in ECW, I did not experience it. I experienced it in WWE. I experienced it with certain top officials who I don't really want to go and say any names, because I feel...
Say names.
Well,
yeah, Bully Ray wants him to say it.
Oh, I'm just going to say it like this,
Hey, now I believe that Devon Dudley just right there, what he did was he squinted his eye a little bit like this, and he just mocked disabled people. So the crazy thing about this is they're going to call out Jim Ross's racism, right, which is bad, but then they're going to be ableist, or whatever you call it. They're going to make fun of people with a deformity out there. So, just want to tell you, there's going to be some guy out there, and he's going to say, well, the first time I experienced, people mocking my disability was this guy Devon Dudley on YouTube. That's the first time. Absolutely sickening by Devon. Unbelievable.
I didn't wear...
So, I like that they're all laughing. They're literally like, yo, we're going to call out Jim Ross without calling Jim Ross out. but we are going to call him out. But we're not going to say his name, and it's funny. That's fucking crazy. I mean, I say if you got something to say, just fucking say it. Like, hey, listen, Jim Ross said some crazy shit, and I don't know if he seemed to really believe it at the time. He might be different now, but back then he had this thing where he's fucking full on like, nah, you're black, man. What the, fuck off. But they didn't do that. They did do that, but they didn't. And I just find it kind of weird that you didn't. Why not just call him out at this point? You just said, we all know you mean Jim Ross now.
10-gallon hat or anything, but my point was...
Now he says 10-gallon hat, so now we really know who he's talking about.
When a person...
Go Sooners!
Go Sooners! Now they make fun of him even more. Maven throws it even more on the fire, right? If you didn't know already, now you really know. Nice watch Devon Dudley has, too. By the way, that watch would probably save my life if I had that watch right now, but I don't. So, if you guys want to help support the show, Streamlabs is pinned to the top of the chat, or send me money directly, paypal.me/Joe Cronin Show, or send it to the Cash App link that's in the chat. Do it or don't, I don't know, but I could use the help very badly. Thank you if you do it. That'll be my only plug for donations and money this whole time, and it will help the show continue on. It's going to be rough. But Devon, if you could send me that watch, man, I will suck the black off of your big throbber, okay? Okay, for that watch, Devon. If you could, that watch looks like it's worth a lot. But anyway, back to the video. So Maven now calls it out. Devon calls it out. And I guess, white guys stick together, so Bully Ray can't do that. All he can do is make a face in a second. Because white guys, we stick together,
But when a person comes up to you...
See that? See that? Look at that. Look at all. See, this is we're still got racism going on. Maven said it. Maven goes, that's it. I'm going to do it. Go Sooners. I made fun of him. And then Devon did it twice, right? Bell's palsy, like, oh, my fucking face is deformed. My fucking face is deformed. Like he did that. And then he said, a 10-gallon hat. So there you go. So they both called it out. But what does Bully Ray do? What does white guy Bully Ray do? Bully Ray doesn't go, hi, JR, or make some kind of comment where he says, well, I'm calling you out too. Nope. Bully Ray goes, oh, my God. Wow. I can't believe you did that. Bully Ray looks so much like a fucking cocksucker I once knew.
And tells you that they don't like you because of the color of your skin. And you're sitting up there going, wow, really? When? Now,
that's crazy to me. If Jim Ross told him, like, there's one thing that's, oh my God, the Ravens almost got a touchdown. They didn't get it. Why? Who was it? Flowers, come on! I can't get one guy that I picked to score a touchdown so I can get $10. I'm out of fucking money. I'm out of luck. I'm out of everything. I hate myself. Anyway, sorry, this is serious. Yeah, it's one thing to be like, say some prejudice-y things and like racist-y things like, hey man, people don't like a black, this blah blah. Okay, whatever. Maybe you're not, but like to say this is the part that's like, that's fucked up. Like, if he's serious, that Jim Ross basically said, I don't like you because you're black. If Jim Ross really said that and he wasn't like hammered and on drugs or something and he just said that. Oh my God, Bateman scored. Fucking kill me. I mean, that is so fucked up, dude. That is sick. I can't, I mean, he's saying that this happened. Bully Ray is agreeing, I think. Maven seems to know this is real. I mean, I'm just blown away by that. If Jim Ross were to really be like, I don't like you because you're a black guy. If he really said that and was actually saying that, like, we're not talking about some kind of like weird prejudice-y thing or, racist-y, vibes or talk. But he actually said, I don't like you, Devon, because you're black. That's fucking sucks. Like, that really that's a real shot to the fucking gut. Because JR is a legend to me, and he always will be as a caller and a commentator. But like, I loved JR. I would think JR would like black people. But if you're telling me that JR really said to this guy that I don't like you because you're black, did he really say that? Or did it just seem like that? Because if he said that, that's crazy. That's really bad if he said that. And he meant it. That really would, that would be devastating. But it's got to be real because he's saying it. Bully Ray is right there. He says he saw it too. Maven's not saying anything different. Like this don't seem good. This doesn't seem like the type of shit I want to know. I'm happy to know about. I'm just saying. This sucks.
In 1999, 2000, a person.
Go Sooners!
Yeah, but when a person comes up to you and tells you that they don't like you because of the color of your skin, and you're sitting up there going, "Wow, really?" When 1999.
Yeah, this is 1999 he's talking about. I mean, dude, like 1999, like what the fuck? Like you wouldn't think you would see this type of shit in 1999. I would say it was around 1997 and up that the racism in South Boston was very much almost gone. Like, I mean, it wasn't gone, but I mean, like, it was like the real racism was gone. There was a lot of fighting between blacks and Irish people, but not really to me because like people are just racist, but just like, Irish people came to Boston from Ireland and they sort of staked their claim. And then when the busing happened and a lot of black people moved in because of, the political climate and everything, the Irish people were like, they worked hard to come up from being the stomping ground of people. Irish were treated like as bad as blacks in the early 20s, right? Like, or in Boston, not in like the South. The South, they hung you. That's different. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying like in Boston, they were treated pretty fucking bad. But when the blacks were bussed in, then the Irish almost got like a leg up. And it was like, okay, now the Irish moved up a level, but now you're the blacks. You're the new Irish, motherfuckers. And so the Irish were really shitty to the black people, and the black people were shit back to them because they were getting shit on. And so there was this little bit of a rivalry and racism that happened. And I would say it was more from the Irish people for sure. Because the Irish were, I mean, bro, these Irish people just came from nothing in Ireland, right? Whatever the fuck in Ireland, they were hard-nosed, like, I will kill you for a meal type of people and work hard for it. And then these people just get bussed in, and they're like, they just spent the last 20 to 40 years trying to earn a spot in Boston and in America. And now here comes these black people getting bussed in. And so the two just really collided. That's where the race, because people always go, why is Boston always known as like racist or whatever, when like literally Boston is one of the first places to bring in black people and to accept black people? And the reason is because you're going to see the most racism where you first, collide with a mixing of people. It's a mix of people together. So you got this pushback. So you get this open racism because both groups are used to calling each other shit names. But it's not like that. We had the first black hockey player. We had some of the first black basketball players. Bill Russell. There's so many things. Boston is one of the first places to bring in black people and integrate them in a humanitarian way. But because of the hard-nosed Irish, the poor Irish in Boston, it's like they were shitty to the black people. And anyway, that weird fucking racist-ish fucking tone lasted for a long time. And even into the 90s, and it wasn't till like 2000 or 1999, 2001, 2002, where it was like a lot of the Irish people on all the streets and stuff were hanging out with black guys and they were all hanging out together. Or like if somebody said something like racist or something, you know, people would laugh. But like if somebody said something like actually crazy or really was going to do something racist, you know, you would have there'd be a majority of people that would be like, yo, don't fucking say that shit or whatever. It was a different tone. And it took a long time because in the early 90s, I heard the racism. But in the late 90s, it had changed. And in the 2000s, it was gone. So to hear, like he said, Jim Ross saying this sort of stuff in 1999, I mean, is kind of jarring. It's like, damn, this is, I mean, bro, if you weren't alive in 99 and you're too young to remember it, like the race relations in this country were the best they've probably ever been. I would say the race relations in this country were probably the best from like maybe 1996 up until about 2012, maybe. From 96 to 2012, like we were all just like mixing up and enjoying each other. I feel like, I mean, certainly there was racism and stuff, but I'm just saying it felt like the most together that everybody ever was. And part of that was because people were evolving and getting over things and really embracing the American mixing melting pot. And also September 11th happened, and that brought all of us together even closer, and just things were just cooling off into the perfect spot. And all of a sudden they got all ramped up again in 2013-ish to 15 because of the Wall Street stuff that happened. The housing market crash happened, and they started to divide us all like crazy. And also people started getting overly sensitive and overly woke about things and stupid excuses for things. And, you know, people losing jobs because the DEI type of stuff and affirmative action stuff. And there's no more war to fight, and we don't have anybody else to fight. And so we start fighting each other again, and just all these things. And now the race relations are to the point where people use it as a crutch. And God, if anything ever happened to you ever in the past, you can't wait to bring it up and get some attention for it. So it's just... And it's just back and forth and just a cesspool of just awful right now.
2000, and you're still coming to me and saying crap like this? There were certain people in that organization in that time that felt that I should not have said anything, who had power to basically bury me if need be, just because I might have stood up for what I felt was right.
Bubba, did you ever notice any racism, or did you ever feel like you had to protect him?
Yes. Once, only once, and that's why I asked them, like, have you ever experienced since we were together? And now that he brings up
crazy, this is Devon Dudley's podcast, but Maven is really driving a lot of these questions like it's a Maven podcast. Like Maven should clip some of this and put it on his show, or ask Devon too, because Maven drove a lot of this. By the way, Maven with a fucking fire suit. Look at that suit, bro. I love Maven's suit. I may come after this is over. I mean, you know, Bully Ray dressed like he's gonna watch Weekend at Bernie's corpse fucking disintegrate into the fucking ground. You know, Devon looks like he's a used fucking car salesman, and Maven looking like he's ready for dinner with the fucking queen at 3:00 before the White Rabbit jerks itself off. I mean, I can't believe how fucking swell Maven looks.
Up this
fucking swole
incident that I know he's talking about, yes, I did experience firsthand. And I think if I wasn't there to actually physically grab him by his wrist and hold him back, that something could have happened. So yes, I did experience it with him once. Getting back here about the original question about why the leadership role, right? Devon was trained by Johnny Rods.
It's a great podcast. You should definitely subscribe and maybe listen to Devon's podcast here, or at least this show. This is really good. This is like 2 hours or something. No, it's an hour long. But yeah, Maven did a good job driving. Bully Ray, we know, can speak so well. He's very entertaining to listen to. We all know that. And of course, you know, hearing Devon's accounts, but they talked a lot about a lot of other things, not just, you know, the racism thing was like a 2-minute thing. It was just crazy that they literally name dropped Jim Ross without name dropping him. It was so strange to me that they didn't just call it out. Anyway, Gerald Armstrong, thank you for the $9 donation earlier, my friend. I really appreciate that, man. We're in major trouble. This show is about to be like a once a week thing. I'm putting on a new potential podcast on the Patreon in audio form, maybe 30 minutes long. I don't know yet. So I hope you guys look for that and wherever I put it up. And then I've got probably a new venture that's coming at some point somewhere else, probably not here, based on the numbers I'm seeing coming in on this channel and these live videos. So enjoy these. I don't know. I guess these would be the final days, maybe. I don't know. Or at least, the multiple shows. But we had this news. I thought this was an important thing to play, mention, talk about, bring up, whatever the fuck. Maybe it's a stereotype. Maybe it's not racism. Maybe it's full-blown racism. I don't know. I'm not sure. Only Devon and some other people really fully know what the fuck is going on. But pretty crazy stuff there. And there it is. What do you guys think? Leave it in the comments below. Write it in the chat if the chat's still up live. I don't know. It's pretty jarring news about Jim Ross, man. And they directly, called him out basically here. And you can't argue that. So I was shocked to hear that today. I mean, I've heard various little whispers before, but I've never. This was a direct call out on the side or something. I'm like, I don't know, like a sideways direct call out. Make of that what you will, but man, that's disappointing to hear that if it's the way it sounds. But maybe are we overblowing it? I don't know. It sounds bad though. Or is it WWE just trying to smear more AEW type of people? I don't know. Bully Ray, I don't think could believe they actually went there, but they did. Of course, the white guy had the white guy was the only guy that was like, oh my God. And I'm just. All right, boys, girls, we out. Thank you to the sole donation from Gerald Armstrong.